Hello, welcome to my first video series. The title is Fundamental Skills for an Efficient Life. What I'll be doing in this video series is providing tips and suggestions for you to apply to your life so you can maximize your living and reduce inefficient thinking. So today we're going to start by talking about circumstances versus your thoughts. What is a circumstance? The circumstance is an objective fact. I will get out of the way so you could see my little drawing here. I have some example circumstances that probably apply to most of us. We have jobs and bosses, and we might get laid off, and we have family, and there's politics out there, and religions, and news, and fake news, and all of these things are external circumstances. Since they are objective and factual, what that means is your circumstances are neither good nor bad. Your circumstances out here in the world mean nothing until they get filtered down and they hit your brain. And then what happens is that your brain assigns thoughts, beliefs, and opinions to all of these circumstances out there in the world. So I really want this to sink in with you. This is very important. The circumstance is neutral. It doesn't mean anything until you have a thought about it. Circumstances are objective and factual. Your thoughts are subjective interpretations that you assign to all of these things that are going on out there. And by the way, other people, that's a very big circumstance, because the things that other people do, the things that other people say, and things that other people think are completely neutral. They mean nothing until you have a thought about them. So that brings us to today's lesson number 1. You can't control your external circumstances, but you can always control the way you think about them. So I want to repeat that again. Stop trying to control your circumstances. It's very inefficient and it's very tiring. Instead, control the way you're thinking about your circumstances. Now, I know some of you are resisting this and you're saying, well, I can surely change some of my circumstances. I don't like this boss right now that I have, so I'm going to change my job. Or I don't like reading all this fake news out there, so I'm just going to ignore it. Or I don't like the way my spouse and my kids turned out, so I'm just going to find a new family. Yeah, those things happen and people do those. But it's not a long-term solution. It's very inefficient. In the next video, I'm going to talk about why it's not a good idea to try to change your circumstances in order to feel better. So I have a couple of thoughts I wanted to share with you. These were from some of my clients. And these are thoughts that my clients really, really believed were their circumstances. Here's the first one. I start things, but I don't follow through. This is not the right job for me. I always have to fix other people's mistakes. There's no incentive to do a good job here. And this last thought is mine. This one came from me. This is a belief I've held my whole life, but I always thought it was just a fact. I'm just not a morning person. There's nothing factual about that statement. It's completely a thought. And it's a thought that has caused me a lot of pain and suffering throughout my life. So what I'd like you to do is, on a piece of paper, write down 2 columns, one with thoughts, one with your circumstances. Try to distinguish between the two and try to detect those thoughts that you are actually believing to be a circumstance. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.